Yeah, 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 yeah,
I love you, Bobby.
yeah. When I ask for your ass.
We had some great music going on.
Yeah.
The vibes was here. Then all of a sudden, some negative energy done hit the area
Yeah.
and cut us off the station a couple of times.
And we're
But
sorry.
guess what? They can't stop us.
That's
See, that's
right.
the thing. They can't stop us.
'Cause
Because you know why?
We refuse to lose.
We got the great one
And we got Mr. Lawrence.
and Miss Lawrence.
Yes.
And Miss Lawrence.
And Mr. Lawrence. And
the
Mr.
kids.
Lawrence.
And we got the family.
We got the family.
And that's why I can't stop. And that's why we refuse to lose. And I want to thank y'all for being on the Refuse to Lose show.
Yes. Listen, it's a little unorthodox. You're not. I know you're kind of Malini, Miss Lawrence, and Mr. Lawrence. I know you're a little late, right? So this is one of them shows where we just go off of how we feel, and
Yeah,
that's the energy.
It's the energy, you know.
So
and
you're gonna have
we
to
see
rock
some
with it.
energy going on Zoom, also live on Raw Truth Radio. I would like you guys to introduce yourself, let the world know who you are, and we're gonna let them know why you are here tonight.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm Curtis Lawrence, Curtis Lawrence Jr. And this is my family here. They're still on mute, so I'll go ahead and I'll introduce my wife here. They're unmuted so they can speak. All right.
You're Curtis Lawrence Jr., class of what, from where?
Oh,
we need
there we
to
go.
Listen, right. We
Class.
understand.
Class tonight for Utica College of Syracuse University.
Okay, thank you. You give the whole story. We want everything. We gotta let the people see where the origins of this comes from.
Right.
He meant to also add from Brooklyn, New York. He forgot that part.
Oh,
Absolutely. Brooklyn for life.
But that's okay, Troy, because my name is Malini Lawrence from Harlem, New York.
Yes, sir.
Wife of the Curtis Lawrence Jr.
Yes.
And mother of these two awesome sons right here. This is our son Curtis Lawrence III, the young man of the hour.
Okay.
And our younger son Corey Lawrence, following in the path of excellence that his brother has set before him.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Shout out to the Curtis family.
Yes. Shout out to the Curtis family. Well, I gotta tell you, man, it's good to see you guys. I haven't seen you guys in
DJ Next Level had to, hook up to Brooklyn, we go hard,
Yeah.
That's right.
My apologies.
Curtis, this is Reg Hunt, man, aka DJ Next Level, aka a whole bunch of different things out here in this universe. And I have not heard your voice since college, man, but I found everything. Obviously, we've documented these things with our children on Facebook as we've gone along. And I am super proud of you, your family that you've developed, as well as the accomplishments of your children, man. So super congratulations to you and everything that you did, man. When we were in college, those of y'all that didn't have eyeballs, this young man was super laser focused on nothing but education and knew exactly that he wanted to do something that was going to change the world. And it's happening, man. Congratulations, Kurt.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Good to hear your voice, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
early 90s.
Yeah, right. It seemed like yesterday, but it was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, man. I'm mad I didn't get a chance to catch up with y'all when y'all was here. I was trying to race back to the city.
Yeah, let's get back to the subject matter at hand.
Yes.
Why don't you introduce your children again, Curtis, and then I would love for Curtis III to actually tell us his story. We know it, but we would love for him to let our listeners know exactly why we have you guys on the show this evening.
Absolutely. So got my baby boy, my youngest son, Corey Lawrence, and then of course the big brother there, Curtis Lawrence the third. My two boys,
Welcome
these
to the
two
show,
young
Jimmy.
black men.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
So, this
Just keep talking. I got
Mr.
you.
Lawrence III. Tell us a little bit about who you are, and we brought you to this show for a purpose because you have a unique talent. You're 16 years old, and you have accomplished something that a lot of us haven't even come close to. So tell us a little bit about your educational journey.
So I'm Curtis Lawrence III. I am 16 years old, and I will be going to college in the fall, starting as a junior. So my educational career started at the age of 2 when my parents taught me how to read, and they were very deliberate in making sure that I had the tools necessary to succeed later in life. And so being able to read at an early age, being able to do math at an early age really helped. And so then I was placed in a talented and gifted school in New York for elementary school, where I was surrounded by people who were not only academically gifted like me, but who were also Black, who were from neighborhoods, who were from not necessarily good neighborhoods, but they were Black and they were academically talented and they were invested in their futures and their parents were invested in their futures. So I was surrounded by Black excellence at an early age. And then we moved to Texas, where I was able to skip the 4th grade and move into 5th grade. And we kind of jumped around schools because we couldn't really find a school that was a good fit for me, and I ended up being homeschooled as a result. As a result of being homeschooled, I was able to have my first exposure to college by auditing a class at the University of Texas at San Antonio in African American Studies. I was able to learn from a former Black Panther, Professor Mario Salas, and I was able to learn about the history of Black people in Texas, especially because it is not told in Texas history curriculum. So I was able to learn a lot that I didn't know.
Let me
And
stop
then
right there, Curtis. Tell
Wow.
our listeners something that you don't think is common knowledge for African Americans in Texas as far as history.
So we are told, at least from what I remember in my Texas history class, that the Texas American War, where the Americans that were living in Texas, the settlers that were in Texas, where they rebelled against Mexico, it was fought over freedom and unjust laws. However, it was started because Mexico had already abolished slavery, and because they wanted to abolish slavery in Texas because it was part of Mexico. The settlers who were in Texas, most of them were slave owners, rebelled, and so they could become a part of America and keep their slaves as a result.
Very interesting.
Wow.
Very
Wow.
interesting. And I'm sure there's a lot more interesting facts that are out there that you've acquired in your journey that is just not common knowledge, and that's what makes you special. Sorry to cut you off. In the last week, the Curtis family had some interesting news that was released. You mind sharing that with us?
Yes, I declared where I would be going in the fall, and I am going to be attending Florida A&M University as a biology and computer science major in the fall.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So Florida, you on FAMU.
And just so you understand, this young man just said he is going in as a junior, not a freshman.
That's right.
So just back up a little bit. You went to your first college you went to was George Washington University. Am I correct? What was that experience like?
So it was a bit nerve-wracking at the beginning because I was so young. I was 14 and I was going into class with kids who were way older than me, about 5 to 8 years older than me. And so it was a bit awkward on the first day when all the students were asking me, like, how old are you? How are you in this class? Things like that. But however, over time, it became more normal. people knew who I was, and I was able to make friends with college students and form study groups with them. And it really helped to be in this program, the GW Early College Program, with other high school students just like me who are academically gifted and were dedicated to their education. And so I was surrounded by people who were in the same situation as me, being dually enrolled as high school students and college students at George Washington University, and being young college students as well. So I was able to have that support community, which really helped.
I have two questions. One is for Mom. Did you go with him the first day of college and sit in the classrooms?
So back when we lived in Texas, when he took his first class at University of Texas, San Antonio, because he was only 11 at the time, I did have to sit in those classes. So every day when we lived in Texas, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would drive us to the school and I sat in the back. And it was a Black history class. So I wanted to get the same knowledge he was getting. But because he was a minor, I did have to attend those classes. However, GW was different because he wasn't auditing classes. He was a regular college student and he was treated as such. So to this day, I've never met any of his professors. I only know one professor's name. I've never even communicated with them via email. I've been on campus once, and that was for him to show us where his study nook was in the library. He took us on a tour of the library. And so really, that's the only time I've been on campus.
Okay.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And the other question is, I don't know if you want to answer this in front of your parents, but how many students came to you and you charged for help in doing their papers?
We know you helped them.
Because I know you made some money there. I know
you
because I know for a fact if you was in my class, I'd be sitting next to you.
Mm-hmm.
So at GW, I didn't have a tutoring business. I didn't edit papers or do any of that.
Oh,
However, I did provide help to some of my classmates, to my peers, see if when they needed help, and as they did to me when I was struggling taking calculus and I was, kind of confused on how this particular problem went. However, outside of school, I did do math tutoring in Algebra 2 and geometry in Algebra 1 to middle school students who were getting ready to take those.
Wow.
nice.
This
Now-
young man is seasoned.
I know science is your thing. Who's that guy that you did a program with somebody like a seminar? I forgot the guy's name. Can you help me out? It's real science guy, real smart guy. I think you both am I correct?
Is that Dinosaur George?
That's what I was thinking.
Who?
I was thinking, were you talking about Dinosaur George? He is a paleontologist in Texas.
Uh-huh. So tell me a little bit about that experience, because I remember you doing a seminar or something, if I'm correct.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. So this is at GW. I have been able to interact with my professor. I was able to take a geology class and a paleontology class with a professor of geology, Dr. Catherine Forster, and she invited me to be a part of a paleontology discussion group where I was able to meet with other paleontologists and we would discuss recent paleontology papers that have come out recently.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm slipping at my job.
Man. It's amazing to see how well you have and how far you have come in such a short time. And my hat is off to you. I'm like speechless. What makes it so special for me is that I know both your parents. I grew up with your mom. I went to school with your dad, and it's. I actually got a question. How did you two meet? I never heard the story.
I'll tell that because
You can tell it, Kurt.
my version is better.
Martin and Gina, huh?
Yeah, because I've known Malini since I was about 14 years old, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
14, 15 years old. Me and Curtis only met when we were in college.
Okay.
So when I saw that they were married, we were kind of baffled. And I was like, wait a minute. Where did these two paths cross? Because
he might have went down to Harlem for Harlem Week or something.
He's from Brooklyn.
I know.
Close. You're close. You're really close.
Yeah, they probably met at Schaumburg at some
At Schaumburg.
Schaumburg. But I'm interested in knowing how did you two guys
Grant's Tomb. Yeah, it could have been Grant's Tomb. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in my Grant's Tomb days, I wasn't looking for a wife. So, but but when I first started teaching, she had already been teaching in Harlem, and I was teaching in Harlem. And I had a teacher who backed out of this conference, and my principal said, "Hey, I'm going to send you." And it was upstate in Albany, right? And so I went up to Albany, and I bumped into these other teachers from Harlem, and she was one of those. And so I introduced myself. We're all hanging out in the hotel room. It was like 5 or 6 of us, right? And I said, "Hey, I'm a teacher. I teach at Frederick Douglass Academy." Next thing I know is there's this pillow that this woman grabs and hits me upside the head. She just met me. I was like, "Man, what did I do?" But that was her way, like, "Oh, I'm snagging this one." So that's what she did.
Wow.
But let her tell you about the ride home. When I drove back to New York, I had people in my car. And she actually went in the car and said, "Hey, y'all got to get out because they need to make room for me." And she kicked people out of my car so she can get the ride back in my car.
Wow.
Oh, man.
She smacked Cupid into you.
For real.
That's what I was about
Hit
to
you
say.
over the head and dragged you out with the pun.
Good job, yeah.
Good job, Malini.
Good job.
Good job.
And these two are laughing because they know this story very well.
Sure.
So these are the types of females that I'm telling Curtis to look out for when he gets to FAMU.
Right.
Yeah.
Stay away from now.
You're going to be a hot commodity, young man, whether you know it or not. So you got to be really careful. But you know what? More or less, I want to ask that the other sibling next to him,
Corey.
I want to know, Corey, how do you feel? Because I know you're very intelligent also. And I know that I remember you mentioning that you was going to follow in your brother's footsteps, but I don't think you're too far behind. So what are your aspirations as far as your education?
Well, ever since I was little, I've always been interested in astronomy. I really kind of like astronomy. And one of my role models is Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm sure some of you have heard of him. The famous astrophysicist. It's one of the reasons I want to be an astrophysicist. Mm-hmm. And that's part of my career goal. So right now, I've been trying to apply to the same program that Curtis has been. Right now, I'm just waiting for the acceptance. I've already done the application and the interview. It's called the George Washington Early College Program. It's how Curtis got his dual enrollment, and I'm planning to follow in his footsteps and do the exact same thing. It would really, it's really kind of like how would I say this? It's sorry.
It's time, Corey.
It's just a program that I really wanted to do. It also gives me like the opportunity to, just like Curtis went into paleontology, it gives me the opportunity to go into astronomy. So that way I can like really get involved in the field and all that. So that's something I really wanted to do.
You know what?
Wow.
That's congratulations on that. It's awesome that you guys have goals and aspirations and are dreaming big, and have a parent base that's letting you know that anything in life is feasible. And you guys are already examples of that at a young age. So I'm sure you realize sky's the limit for both of you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely commend you. Corey, and well, both of you guys, I know you guys have been doing interviews for quite some time at this point. Mm-hmm. And some of your answers that I've heard tonight are some of the answers I've heard watching some of your other interviews. Corey, I'd like to know what interests you outside of becoming an astrophysicist.
Well, besides just
what's your favorite TV show?
No, I don't really have one actually.
What do we watch?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have 2 favorite TV shows. They're really old, not really old. Different World and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So those are my 2 favorite shows.
Oh God,
my kind of guy.
Your parents got you.
My kind of guy.
I thought you were gonna say Ratchet TV.
I still watch it too.
No, that's what's up. And Curtis, same question. What's your favorite TV show?
Like Corey said, a different world. But I am kind of also into anime, so I watch some animes, and my favorite of those has been Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which it's really good.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Nobody likes Big Bang Theory. I'm the only non-science guy that
what's
likes
up?
that show.
I'm a Big Bang Theory person too.
If they get some brown people up in there, I might watch that.
He might be the first one.
Got you.
I think you'll be the first one. You're gonna break that barrier. You're gonna be, and you know why?
Well, the Indian guy is on there. He's brown.
Well, he's brown, but he ain't black.
Yeah.
I know, like Roger's my dude, but we can always take a curse.
No, absolutely.
I always thought. Now looking at you guys, I always thought Corey was the older one.
Corey's the bigger one.
He's the bigger one. That's what I'm saying. But I always thought as they grew up, I kind of think I kind of lost focus, and I started thinking Corey was the older one, and Curtis was the younger one.
Yeah, and
Corey actually just turned 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a year behind.
And he's about to be a freshman in college.
Wow.
Well, Corey, yes.
Yeah.
God willing, he will be a freshman in college. GW will say, yes, Corey, you're accepted.
Oh, we know they're gonna say yes.
Oh yeah, man, yeah, that with no doubt.
Yeah, the work has already been put in, and the path has already been set.
That's right.
Yeah, let's talk that into existence. I mean,
because they want another history. They want another one on the list to be, historic.
Yeah, it's I mean, the marketing guys bringing attention to the university.
Exactly,
that's right.
Especially because these guys are showing and proving that they're not just, they're doing their thing.
Right.
Curtis, the second, I know that you are quite an athlete back in college. What about Curtis?
Oh, wait, time out. You should have saw the wife. She said,
I'm so sorry. wait, maybe I don't know about this part. What did you play at Utica? I mean, I know you were the world famous DJ, but I didn't know about any sports.
And we didn't even get into that yet, King Tut.
Yeah.
We didn't get into that yet. He's not only a principal, because we didn't get into that, right? Because he's a principal, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a principal, right? Mm-hmm. So where are you a principal at, Kurt?
New Orleans.
Right, I'm a principal at Idea Public Schools. I'm in Baton Rouge right now.
He was DJ King Tut
in college.
Yeah.
In college.
Okay.
We was on Wednesdays, and I think you were on.
I might have been on Mondays, 9 to 12.
Yes, it was Mondays because we was on Wednesdays, 9 to 12.
Prime time.
Wow. DJ King Tut.
So what did you play?
Also a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
We got an intruder, and you know what? We actually have
absolutely better
let him intrude because this is my man Jamal Hardy from ATL, and he has been listening to the show from day one. He's our biggest critic. He's our biggest fan. Shout out to you, Jay Hardy. Welcome to the building.
Welcome to the building.
All right, now we let you pick up your brother. Go ahead, man. Take it over.
But wait. Jay Hardy is really from Harlem. Like Harlem is represented here.
Yeah.
No. We know, no question.
Understand that.
Okay.
This is a true Harlem.
This is a true Harlem woman.
This is a Bronx. This is a Bronx show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, 130th Street right here.
And guess where we're filming and streaming from?
In the Bronx. Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
So we're still fresh.
Back to the important people. Back to the important.
Right. So, Curtis, what did you play?
Curtis, I did not mean for this interview to go this way. I'm sorry, brother.
I told you strange things happen here, man.
He only pledged one fraternity. There's only one fraternity.
No, he said, what did he play?
What did he play?
We were talking about sports.
Are you talking about sports? No, when I go back on mute. So in college, I mean, I watched a lot of sports. I'll say that I watched a lot of sports. Kept this a little low key. Might have done a little racquetball, a little karate.
Badminton. Little badminton.
All right, let me. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen. I'll take it back. I'll rewind the question. I'll rephrase the question. Back in college, you were, very athletic type, and I watched you work out and stuff like that, running around campus.
Yes.
Your children, did they get into any sports? Do they prefer any sports? You got them in any sports?
Yeah. So when we got to Texas, they joined a soccer league, and so they did a lot of soccer for the whole time we were in Texas. Mm-hmm. And then for the past, I think 8 years now, they've been doing capoeira, African Brazilian martial arts. So they're pretty high up with that.
That's awesome, man.
That's nice.
That's awesome. So excuse me, Troy. I salute you even further, Kurt, because when you hear a lot of these stories about these children, being super students and super intelligent, you seldom hear about any other activities outside of going to the library and doing things like that nature that's just going to expound on their intellectual, basis. So to hear that you're actually letting them be free to be kids and, do the things that they like to do, from watching TV to engaging in sports, man, I commend you even further, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even when on the weekends times, we often would do like 14-mile bike rides and just go bike riding. So, we always make sure there's time for the whole kid, not just the brain.
The balance. The balance. Speaking of the balance, why don't you run down a quick list of where you have, taken your family all over the world so that they can get culturally educated?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my wife and I have been very intentional about like their experience. And so I think by the time they were 14, they had done already a little over 50 college visits. They had been to 27 different states, about 70 national parks and museums. So wherever we travel, and we always drive so they could see everything. So wherever we go, we always make sure we hit up national parks with them, museums with them, college tours. And they've been to about 8 different countries, both of them on their own. Curtis spent the summer in China, I think when he was 12 or 13. Yeah. He went over to China because he speaks Mandarin, and that's where a lot of bones are found and fossils. So he started studying Mandarin in 8th grade. So he speaks Chinese. He went over there for a summer. Corey went to the Dominican Republic to help out struggling communities over there, helping them build ovens so people can cook and so forth. So, we try to let them see everything, give them that experience that, my wife and I, we didn't have growing up. We wanted to make sure our boys had it.
Man, they did it, man. Congratulations, man. That
was amazing. I want to tell you, you guys have experienced what most people in their lifetime have not experienced.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want you to continue. My message to you is real minuscule compared to what you have already done and where you've already been. But I want to tell you, keep doing what you're doing, keep inspiring to learn and grow. It's not often that we get an opportunity to sit with young men like you, and you have a very unique talent, and you have a very special talent. And I want you to stay focused and understand what it is that you have. And I commend you on all your endeavors. And I definitely got to have you on another event that I'll speak to your parents about later. But I wish you guys all the best of luck of all your endeavors. Yeah, you guys are awesome, man.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Kurt, Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence. Yes, I was going to say Curtis and me, but I have the utmost respect for you guys at this point, for what you guys have done as a parent. I'm a parent. And we want the best for our children, but you guys, with the path that you're setting for these children is amazing. It's remarkable. Wow. Obviously, it's unprecedented. It doesn't happen often. I don't generally do the interviews. These guys normally do the interviews, and they're really good at it. I just wanted to kind of get involved because of our personal relationship, and so that I can salute you and give you your flowers at the same time. But I do have one last question. Are you adopting? Because I want to be part of the Lawrence family. I want to be trips. You know what I'm saying? I pack light. I know how to pack just with a book bag and a duffel bag. My stuff don't even go underneath the plane, man. I just want to go.
Damn, he asked first.
I can't front, Reggie. I am looking forward to being an empty nester in 2 years. I'm looking forward to that. I love my son, but I'm making plans already. So we can do like virtual adoption.
Well, that's fine. I'll take that. Just virtually send me my ticket, and I'll virtually get you on the plane, and you don't have to worry about me after that.
Oh my goodness,
Curtis. The kids, do you have any final words for any youngsters out there? And
yeah, give us some inspiration for these people, for some people.
For me, my advice is to surround yourself with people who are like you. Make sure that you have people who look like you, but who also have the same interests as you, who want to go to college or who want to go into your field. And especially with mentors, you want to surround yourself with mentors, because there were times where I was like, maybe I don't want to do paleontology, and being able to interact with mentors, paleontologists at GW and paleontologists in Texas, really just helped me feel and reinforce that I actually want to do paleontology. So you want to have people who are like you, so that you can push each other along the way, and then also have mentors who can reach back and help you and pull you forward.
Okay.
Wow, awesome. Very well said. Very well said.
Corey? You have any advice, Corey?
Well, I could say the basic: do well in school, do your chores, but I would say I would say to make sure to follow your dreams, your aspirations. Stay well grounded in what you do. Make sure even when you're pursuing your academics, also pursue, leave a little time to discover yourself, figure out who you want to be, what you want to do in life. And make sure to every so often, don't necessarily wear yourself out. You don't want to burn yourself out too much. Make sure to take things in moderation. And yeah, that's what I definitely say.
Wow. Well said.
Yes,
awesome. Well said, young man.
For the Lawrence family, I really, really want to thank you guys for being on the Refuse to Lose.
You gon' ride with us, you ready or what? You gon' ride with us, you ready or what? You gon' ride with us, you ready or what?